Opponent just concedes. Okay, I guess they just don't like their stuff getting removed. That works for us. We don't actually have to win the game, apparently. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm doing a new series on mid-range decks, starting with Rakdos mid-range, but then I also wanted to try and tweak the deck into other versions, such as Grixis, Jund, and even Mardu mid-range, to see maybe what people are missing out on by sticking to the status quo. So today I'm just going to show you the core of the deck, we'll play some games, and then in the next few videos I'm going to show you what I think I could do better with the deck. Of course, you have Thoughtseize, 1-for-1 removal in the form of Fatal Push and Go for the Throat, but then you also have removal that is designed to also do something else. So you don't just want to play Liliana of the Veil to make your opponent sack a creature and then it die whenever your opponent swings at it. You want to play it, have your opponent sack a creature, and have yourself in a position where you can also make your opponent discard a card with it, or get it to a point where it can ult at some point. The same thing with Bone Crusher Giant. You want to be able to cast it as Stomp to deal 2 damage to an opponent's creature, but then you also want to play it as a threat at some point in the game. And that's a lot of what the deck wants to do, is just do a bunch of 2-for-1s. Your threats are 2-for-1s. Kroxa makes your opponent discard a card when you play it for 2, but then also, later on, it will make your opponent discard another card. Tenacious Underdog comes down as a 3-2 for 2, which is already good value, but then also in the late game, you can cast it from your graveyard with Blitz, it gains haste, and it draws you a card. You have a small combo between Blood Tithe Harvester and Fable of the Mirror Breaker. When Fable flips, you can make copies of Blood Tithe Harvester and remove 1 creature per turn, but then each card is also individually good enough on its own. So the deck's not really about setting up that combo. With your lands, you have man lands with Hive of the Eye Tyrant and Den of the Bugbear, utility lands with Castle Lochthwain and Takenuma, and an entire sideboard designed to handle your control matchups, graveyard matchups, aggro matchups. It does a little bit of everything. Today we're going to be trying to play best of 3. Let me know in the comments below if you like that better or if you prefer that I do best of 1 matchups. Let's play some games. Alright, we're going to play first. Pretty easy keep. We'll start off with a land. And start with Blood Tithe Harvester. Looks like we're up against blue-white control. Maybe Esper. Castle Lochthwain will come into play tapped, so let's go ahead and play Takenuma. And we'll play Fable. We don't necessarily want to play Lily, because we don't want to discard too many cards to our own Lily. Okay, opponent's going to play Censor anyway. Opponent's going to shock in a land. We're going to play Castle Lochthwain. We'll play Bone Crusher Giant. Okay, opponent has a Censor for that. We'll get in for 3. Okay, opponent doesn't have a 4th land, which is good for us. Let's lead with Kroxa. Okay, Kroxa resolves. Opponent's going to discard a Farewell, and we'll play Liliana of the Veil. Opponent has Dovin's Veto. Get in for 3 more. And we can hold onto this land for the blood token. Okay, opponent has temporary lockdown. That's pretty good. We top deck another Blood Tithe Harvester, thankfully. And now we can activate the blood token for getting rid of this land. We need 1 more card in the grave to cast this Kroxa, so let's go ahead and start by swinging. And then we can play Fable. Okay, opponent has the Absorb. Opponent is at 9 though. Okay, let's go to combat. Swinging for 3. See what our opponent has. Okay, opponent has Shark Typhoon. That's totally fine. They're going to draw a card. They'll block our Blood Tithe Harvester, and that opens us up to casting this Kroxa. We're going to keep a Blood Tithe Harvester in the grave for K command. Have our opponent discard their last card. It was a land, which is great for us. We're going to play this land because we could be playing this Liliana next turn, and if we top deck another land, then we want to basically be discarding nothing to our +1. X1 Shark Typhoon, but probably not enough. Opponent's going to Foretell. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just close out this game. We're gonna have them sacrifice. Yeah. Yep. That's good for game 1. We want to take out like our point removal. Go for the Throat's not exactly great here. Do you want to bring in Noxious Grasp for Teferi? Duress for sure. Go Blank is good too. Liliana of the Veils are really good against control. K command is a 2-for-1 for us, and Obnixilus pressures our opponent's life total. Let's take out a Bone Crusher. Okay. Game 2. Let's see what our opponent learned. Okay, we're going to shock in a Blood Crypt and Duress. I think we're going to take this Dovin's Veto, because it can counter our Liliana. He'll play Den into Blood Tithe Harvester. Land from the opponent. You're going to spin the Lay Down Arms on the Blood Tithe Harvester. It's going to play Blight Step Pathway, and we will go ahead and cast the Liliana of the Veil, and we're going to start having our opponent discard some cards. Okay, opponent discarded the Lyra Dawnbringer. We're going to take up Lily. Play Hive and Graveyard Trespasser. Okay, opponent will play their Memory Deluge. We'll deal with that whenever we attack next turn. Okay, 5th land from the opponent. And they do have a Teferi. They're going to deal with Liliana. That makes sense. We're going to play Blood Tithe Harvester and then discard the land to the Blood token. And then we'll go ahead and take out that Teferi now and get rid of the Memory Deluge in the process. Opponent could be playing Torrential Gearhulk, which is why we exiled the Absorb on the last one. Opponent plays another Teferi. They'll draw a card. They didn't want to remove one of our creatures. Well, okay. Let's go and hold on to this land, actually. That way we can activate Den of the Bugbear to deal with the Teferi. Together we drew a Graveyard Trespasser. Activate Den. Go to combat. I think they have some kind of removal because they were able to hold up priority there. Let's go and just swing everything at Teferi. I think I'll lay down arms. Oh, okay. So opponent just was able to cycle the farmland. That makes sense. We can swing the extra point of damage at the opponent now, since we know that the coast is clear. Okay, opponent's going to cycle another land. And a third one. Okay, they are digging hard. They got a Field of Ruin, which is really good. We're not going to activate one of our lands here, because they'll just be able to blow it up in response. We want to keep on contributing threats to the board. So let's go ahead and just swing. We'll exile Lay Down Arms and Dovin's Veto, because we still don't know if they're playing Torrential Gearhulk. Probably not, but you don't want to take that risk. Let's just go ahead and play another Trespasser. We're really opening ourselves up to a board wipe here, but we're also presenting lethal on this turn, so. And Liliana is much better when we have no cards in hand. Yeah, there's the verdict. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, so opponent will go ahead and play their last card knowing that we're going to play Lily this turn. Okay, so we'll play that. We're going to play this Blight Step Pathway on red. And then we'll go ahead and start taking up Lily. Wouldn't mind ulting Lily and having them sacrifice half their lands. Okay, opponent's going to scry 2 and draw 2. Scry 2 to the bottom. And they draw 2 cards. They won't be able to play either one of them though, so let's go ahead and have them discard 1. We're activate Hive. I think Den's a bigger threat and they have to address the one that we activate. Yeah. So we're going to Field of Ruin the Hive. We still have a Liliana the Veil on 5 that the opponent has to address at some point. Okay, they play a temporary lockdown, so they get rid of both of our blood. That's fine. We're going to play Chandra. We're going to tick up Lily. Add 2 mana, and we'll activate Den. Get in for 4. Good game, opponent. Alright, 2-0 against Control. That's not what I expected from Rakdos Midrange. Whoa! Alright, we can't keep that. 1 land, usually not what we're looking for either. I think we're actually going to go down to 5. Okay, well, you know, this is fine. It's not fine. Let's do something like that. Alright, here we go. And Thought Seeds from our opponent. Alright, that's, yeah, alright. Yeah, we're going to be on the Bone Crusher Giant Graveyard Trespasser plan. Yeah, alright. Play that on red. Play Trespasser. Trespasser is cool because it usually 2-for-1s your opponent if all your opponent has is point removal, which is why it's usually pretty good against like Control and like mid-range strategies that rely on like a lot of point removal stuff. Play Chandra. Those top decks are sweet, by the way. We're gonna neg4, hit the underdog, and then we'll swing in. Are we gonna... Okay. Opponent's gonna Fatal Push the Trespasser. We're gonna 2-for-1 them there. Unfortunately, this means that Chandra dies if they want to cast the underdog again with Blitz. Yeah. Bye, Chandra. Well, if we get a land, we can activate Hive. No land, that's fine. Yeah, I think we're just gonna play Blood Tithe Harvester in case opponent was thinking about playing Lily anytime soon. Or like a Thoughtseize or something. Because we're basically making those cards useless at this point. Yeah, opponent's gonna handle the Hive. Okay, let's get a Swamp. Yep, there's Lily. Opponent's gonna make a sack. That thing, we get our land now. Let's play Bone Crusher, and we'll go ahead and play the land because we don't really want to just discard it to blood and have the opponent like Lily out of our hand. Okay. Invoke Despair from our opponent. We lose the Bone Crusher Giant and 4 life, and they draw 2 cards. Opponent's thinking about whether or not they want to +1 Lily, and this is where the skill ceiling for Liliana comes into play. Opponent will +1. Okay. So they're just going to discard a card for free, I guess. In this case, we are going to go ahead and discard a land because we have 4 mana, and 4 mana casts everything in our deck. Let's go ahead and put down a Castle Lockthwain. That's a lot better than the Blood Crypt that we had, because now we can actually activate that and start drawing some cards. Okay. Trespasser from our opponent. That comes down as a 4-4. Gets to exile 2 things from our graveyard. Okay, they get 2 creatures. and Gifted Etherborn. So I'm wondering if our opponent is playing Mono Black Devotion, because usually you play that for the 2 black pips for Grey Merchant. Well, on opponent's step, let's go ahead and activate the Castle Lockthwain. Okay, we need a Thoughtseize. I think we're gonna go ahead and cast that. Okay, we got a Murderous Rider off that. We'll play land, and we'll empty our hands so that we can continue to activate Castle Lockthwain. Okay, opponent's just gonna keep on discarding their own cards. That's good. Pretty sure they've got it anyway. So they get in for 8, 9 here. Puts us at 2. We don't really have anything that we can really do here with just the 2 cards that we're gonna have. Let's go ahead and activate Castle Lockthwain. Well, we'll see what our outs are. I mean, we can land in a Bone Crusher. That's not going to do it, so let's go ahead and move on to the next game. I think Goblinks are good. Could play Kalitas. Cake Man might not be quite as good, because the opponent is playing a lot of, like, Graveyard Hate and stuff. I think we maybe get away with playing, like, 1 less Fatal Push, too. Yeah, honestly, we'll just try like that and keep on trying to play the 2-for-1 game. Okay, we'll play first, and that's much better. Okay, we'll play Haunted Ridge tapped. Opponent's got their Thoughtseize. They'll probably take the Fable or Shieldred. Yeah, we'll take the Fable. They probably have another Thoughtseize for the Shieldred. Let's go ahead and play Mountain and Bloodtithe Harvester. Okay. Removal from the opponent. And another Thoughtseize. Oh, for Chandra. Okay. Let's go ahead and play Castle Lockthwain, and we'll hold up removal. Sign in Blood. Okay. Yeah, they're going to draw 2, lose 2. Yeah, probably better not to play that when Shieldred's coming down. We'll go ahead and play the Shieldred. Let's go draw a card and lose 2. Okay, they're going to play Lily. They're going to make it sack it. Okay. Got a Hive of the Eye Tyrant, that's pretty good. Play the Bloodtithe Harvester. Get another Blood. Might end up discarding this Go for the Throat. Just kind of depends on what our opponent plays. Opponent's going to field the Hive. And Gifted Etherborn from the opponent. Well, let's go ahead and swing in. If we Bone Crusher Giant the Lily now, they'll be less inclined to block. So they're going to block to try and keep their Lily alive, but they don't know that we have the Stomp. So we'll Stomp the Lily, and we'll go ahead and play the Bone Crusher. I feel kind of good about our position here, because if we top deck lands, then we can just discard them to blood tokens, and then we'll be able to cast anything that we would draw into from there. Play the Lily. Lets us make them sack the Graveyard Trespasser. And we get to get in for 4. And this is actually really good, because we have an empty hand, and the opponent has 3 cards. So, okay, I take that back. Man, Invoke Despair is so good. Let's go ahead and discard that to the blood token. I am going to go ahead and cast this as a creature. Okay, they play their 7th land, and a Tenacious Underdog, and a Gifted Etherborn. Okay. Kind of interesting that they didn't blitz the Underdog. Let's go ahead and cast Kalitas, and we'll swing in for 3. I guess they were thinking about blocking with the Underdog. I don't mind if they block either way. Yeah. Yeah, so they'll block the Underdog. Underdog gets exiled, and we get a zombie. Okay, they're gonna activate Castle Lockthwain. They get a Graveyard Trespasser. Pretty good. Okay, so we got a Thoughtseize. Let's go ahead and discard that. Let's just do no attacks for now. Okay, the opponent gets another Graveyard Glutton. Yep. They gain 2, we lose 2. If they swing in, then we can block with our zombie. And then we'll finish it off with Bone Crusher Giant. And we get another zombie on the trade. Okay, we got a Fable. Let's go ahead and cast the Fable. We kind of want to get the Fable flipped at some point to start making copies of our creatures. So let's do no attacks there. And then opponent will activate Lockthwain again. Draw another card. Opponent got another Gifted Etherborn. Let's go ahead and discard that. We get a Kroxa. We'll play Kroxa, deal 3, and then play the Bone Crusher. So our opponent might feel like they have to swing in with one of the Gluttons or a Hive of the Eye Tyrant to exile the Kroxa, because they really aren't going to want to have to handle one of those. Okay, that was really good for the opponent. Okay, they're going to sign in Blood, lose 2, draw 2. Get another land. They're going to swing in with both Trespassers. We're going to double block 1, and Bone Crusher Giant's going to block the other one. And we got another Bone Crusher. Let's do no attacks, because we know that they're going to swing with a Hive of the Eye Tyrant or Gifted Etherborn. Okay, they're going to go for the Throat the Reflection. Yeah, that's really good. Okay. They get their own Kalitas. That's fine. We're going to go ahead and Bone Crusher now, because... Okay. Yeah. I wasn't sure if they're going to sack the vampire to keep us from resolving the Bone Crusher Giant, because then it would have fizzled and gone to the grave. Let's go ahead and cast Bone Crusher Giant. That way they can't just swing in with Kalitas whenever they want to. Yeah, we'll block that Kalitas. Okay, we top deck a Trespasser. That's really good. It is nighttime, so Graveyard Trespasser comes down as Graveyard Glutton. I think we do want to exile the Kalitas. We'll exile one of their Trespassers as well. Okay. Opponent's at 8. It's not over yet. Well, opponent's going to cast Invoke Despair. They draw a couple cards, we lose 4. We lost our Graveyard Trespasser. And they'll swing in for another 5. Puts us at 2. So, opponent's probably got the game here, but we're going to see what we draw. Oh, yeah, they're going to sign and blood us for the win. Yeah. That was pretty good. I mean, we lost 2-0. But, I mean, that was still a fun game. Midrange versus midrange. Yeah, we're absolutely going to keep that. Okay, looks like opponent's probably playing, like, Soldiers or something. That's a sweet curve. Yeah, let's go ahead and Thoughtseize. The Luminarch might end up being better than the Collected Company in this case, so let's go ahead and take that. Okay, opponent's going to swing in for 2. Play Harvester. Okay, opponent got the Aspirant. Go and block that. We can play Fable. Opponent's probably just going to play land and hold up Coco. Oh, they're just going to play Coco main phase. Gives us some more options for Chandra. So that makes Luminarch Aspirant indestructible at, at a moment's notice. Okay, opponent's going to swing. We're going to go ahead and block. And they'll make it indestructible. Yep, that's fine. Let's discard 2 lands. We're not going to need all these lands. Yeah, because we got another one anyway. Gonna play this on black. And we are going to Chandra the Aspirant. Okay, they play Hopeful Initiate. And Adeline. Okay, they're going to swing 2 at us, and then 1 at Chandra. One of these Fatal Pushes is going toward that Adeline, since Reflection just flipped this turn. That will trigger Revolt. I think we're just going to play all of this. So let's go ahead and Fatal Push the Recruitment Officer as well, because we don't want them to untap and activate it. And then we'll shock that in and play another Fable. And then we'll pass. Opponent just concedes. Okay, I guess they just don't like their stuff getting removed. That works for us. We don't actually have to win the game, apparently. We're going to board in Noxious Grasp. Extinction Event, we'll probably need that. The Consumes All is good against aggro. Kolaghan's Commands are really good 2-for-1s. And Kalitas for sure against creature matchups. Lily's not that great against go white strategies, because they can just like sacrifice tokens from Adeline or whatever. Chandra is too much for just removing 1 creature. Like post sideboard, we can take out Liliana the Veils. Kroxa is really slow, but we want to keep 1 as like a late game bomb. And let's go ahead and take out a couple of Graveyard Trespassers. We'll call it good. Another 1 land hand. Let's go ahead and mulligan that one. 2 lands is a little bit better. Honestly, I think we're just gonna go removal heavy on this one. Sorry, Kroxa. Okay, Recruitment Officer from the opponent. Let's go ahead and start with a Fatal Push, but we'll do that on the opponent's turn. Opponent's gonna swing in for 2. Let's go ahead and Fatal Push. Okay, nothing on their second turn. That's good for us. Well, let's go ahead and shock that in. So we're pretty sure we're going to Bone Crusher something this turn. Okay, not that great of a lieutenant. Let's go ahead and Bone Crusher that. Let's play Bone Crusher to establish a threat, and then on our following turns we can go ahead and just keep on removing stuff. Okay, but I'm just going to main phase Collected Company again. I don't know if they know that it's an instant. Okay, they get removal for the Bone Crusher Giant and another officer. Let's go play Haunted Ridge. And we can Bone Crusher Giant the Apparition to get a blocker for the Recruitment Officer. Let's go and remove the Apparition now. Probably still could have just done double Bone Crusher Giant, but let's put a stop before combat. Adeline's going to resolve. And we're going to go ahead and go for the throat Adeline. Okay. Sully's Lieutenant gets a 1/1 counter. We don't want this Sully's Lieutenant getting out of hand. If opponent has another collected company, let's just go ahead and remove it now. And we won't attack. Opponent's playing aggro, so we want to conserve our life total. Yeah, so opponent did have another collected company, which would have been really bad to get. Yeah, it would have been really bad for our Bone Crusher Giant not to kill that Lieutenant. Let's go and block now. I think we can just go ahead and play Hidetsugu. Kind of 2 for 1 there. Let's play a land tap to pass. Okay, Bodyguard protects the Adeline. Let's go and play Bone Crusher Giant and Fable. Okay, opponent gets their 7th land. Okay, we're gonna block 1/1, and we're gonna force our opponent to sack the Bodyguard here. Okay, we're gonna flip Hidetsugu. Hive is fine, but it's, I mean, yeah, okay. Well, that's fine. Let's play another Bone Crusher, and then we'll pass it back to the opponent. Yeah, I don't know. I guess opponent drew an 8th land or something, but it seems like they concede a little early. I mean, we'll take the free wins though.